today so far. Weather's turned out perfect for us. We, of course, just finished the last phase of our, or not the last phase, but the next phase, rather, of our downtown master plan. So we got our street paved in time for it. So, you know what we did, I guess, we took Exchange Street here and turned it one way instead of being two-way traffic. And we got angle parking, and it allowed us to pick up 18 parking spaces, and it makes it easier to park. And of course, it also improved our handicap accessibility quite a bit, because we've got the bump outs now that folks that are handicapped, they have easy access to get onto the sidewalk, and we have more handicap parking. So that was really important to us to do that. And basically all the sidewalks are connected, and you can either walk or roll around wherever you would like. So it's a real good thing. But we had a great turnout today, people coming in, and a lot of food vendors, a lot of other vendors. And the nice thing is what you see for sale here is something that you probably won't see anywhere else. It's very unique stuff. And nothing bad to say about the Ginzu knife people, but some of these things you go to, you see a lot of that kind of thing, or whatever. But this is really some unique stuff. And it's the same way with our stores here. Our stores sell some really unique items, and we got some really great restaurants. So everybody just likes coming to this place because of all that, and the entertainment. We got good music out there going today with local bands. We had Eric Scott Band here last night. It was awesome, and it's just been a fun experience here for us. We look forward to it every year.
Layout's a little different this year.
Layout's a little different. We've got them in the streets. We've opted to go that way last year or two because the vendors like it. It's if it happens to come a little shower for some reason, you're not faced with a lot of wet, soggy ground, that kind of thing. So if that's better and it's cleaner, it's a more solid surface for them to set their stuff up on and all that. And it allows us to have a little more room for people to just move around, and it frees the green up a little more if you want to let the kids get out there and run around and play like kids will do, like you and I did, back in the day. So that's important too.
For people who maybe the first time they're hearing it, remind people why Pendleton Spring Jubilee is such a big deal.
Well, it's such a big deal because it gives a lot of exposure to our town, for one thing. People come in and they see just how nice Pendleton is. And that's a good thing for us because it brings them in here to shop and dine, and some of them want to come here and live, So it's a big thing. And we like these events because it gives folks something to do that really doesn't cost anything. They can get out with their family. It's a family event. They can bring their kids, bring everybody, and just have fun and not spend an arm and a leg doing it.
It's one of the top events in the state, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And there's people all over the place look forward to coming back here every year. And you can talk to the vendors. I mean, they look forward to coming here and being here. It's good for them too. So it's just an awesome event for us, and we look forward to it and really have a blast with it every time.
Patricia Porter.
And tell me how you got involved in helping get this festival off the ground.
Well, I worked at the Pendleton District Historical and Recreational Commission for 15 years, but a few years after going to work there in 1970, there was a small festival held here, and it was some local arts and crafts people. But after the first year, they didn't like the square. They said it wasn't big enough. And so they moved it to Easley to a parking lot. And so I went up and worked it for the commission, a couple of times. And of course, you just burn up. And it didn't last very long, And I came back, and Hurley Batters was our director there for many, many years.
You really well.
And I told Hurley, I said, we need to bring that festival back to Pendleton. And I said, I believe I can do it. And he said, if you think you can do it, you go right ahead. So the next year, we had the first Spring Jubilee.
What year was that?
You would ask me that.
I can look it up.
It's, let's see, my son is 41, he'll be 42. He was a year old, so somewhere around, 41 years now.
Become one of the most successful festivals in South Carolina, right?
Yes, and I said, okay, we always want to have it first weekend in April. That way we're not conflicting with anything in the area. And at that time we had a lot of festivals going on, and we still do in the area, but it has stayed the same. It doesn't look like we really coincide. Now we got a big, Clemson game today, but at least people can get out there and come through and do the festival as well. But yeah, I had a hard time. I had one newspaper that Jerry Alexander did out of Pickens County. And Jerry was a huge help to me because I had to come up with ways to raise the money just to rent the tents and pay for security, and that kind of thing at night. And I thought, how am I going to get all this money? And Jerry helped me, and I sold ads for him, and he paid me the commission, and that's how I started right there.
Are you amazed to see how it's grown and how big a deal it's become?
Not really. I always knew it would. But you have to know Pendleton and the history of Pendleton, and we've got great townspeople here, but and always have had. There's some that's passed on. J.D. Smith, who's longtime resident, and his son, and businesses, and even the two doctors we had in town. They were both instrumental in helping me. The Evans family, everybody got behind it. It was something everybody wanted. We want to show off our town. We have too much to see here that people don't get to see that often.
Well, you got to be proud of what your part in this and what it's become.
I am super proud. You just don't know. To be able to start, like I say, from nothing, and that's how we built it over the years. And I think we have great crafts. That was one thing too I always said. We need a jewelry craft show. You don't want to come and find just anything that you might go, to a thrift store or some kind of little craft show and see. That's not what you need at festivals like this.